Hello and welcome to Kody and Korbin Have a Podcast, the show where two former
And they were
roommates talk about a new movie every week. This week on the show, we're talking about Jurassic World.
We have learned more in the past decade from genetics than a century of digging up bones. A whole new frontier has opened up. We have our first genetically modified hybrid.
We just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea. Almost 40 feet high. Really think she climbed out?
Depends.
On what?
What kind of dinosaur they cooked up in that lab? Evacuate the island. She's a highly intelligent animal. She will kill anything that moves.
Oh, God.
I'm your host, Korbin Zvokel, and as always, I'm joined by my scaly reptilian co-host, Kody Webb. Kody, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Yeah. Tell you what, another great intro from you. Just back-to-back weeks. Impressive stuff. But no, man, I'm excited to be here. Second episode of Mania for KHAP. So keeping it going, grinding out some episodes for everybody. But definitely gonna be a good one. And yeah, we actually, Korbin as well, have a guest for this episode. I don't know if you knew that.
We gotta have a guest. It's May Mania, my man.
Exactly. And yeah, introduce you, my boy, the main man, Jacob Sebasty. Welcome to the pod, man.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. Been a fan for a while, so I'm jacked up.
Yes, sir. No, Sebastian's been asking to come on for a while, and figure with May Mania, gotta give him an episode. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, I think.
Yeah, it's always good to have people that have been listening for a while get on here. So we're glad you're a fan, and we're really happy to have you. So it is your pick, Jurassic World. So why don't you get it started? Well, why'd you pick Jurassic World?
Why?
So I was having a really hard time picking a movie. I went through a list for about 2 hours. Was looking through movies, and when I came across Jurassic World, I was like, well, I haven't seen that since 2015, like since it came out. So I was like, let's do it. I was like, that's what I'm picking.
Yeah, it's also a good pick too. New ones coming out this year, so it's somewhat topical, and I think it's a fun one to discuss because I feel like our breadth of opinions might vary a little bit here. So
It's going to be a good episode, I think. Corbino, I want to hear your initial thoughts first. Kick us off, kid.
Yeah, well, before we do initial thoughts, hold up. Cody, you gotta recommend an episode to the listeners because it's May Mania, so you gotta give us an old episode rec. What's your rec this week?
You want me to just throw out a rec right now, just off the top of my head?
We discussed this already.
We discussed recommending the Holes episode because that one's pretty good. I think a lot of comedy in that one, I would say. Not the best movie by any means, but definitely a good episode of the pod. So yeah, if we're recommending off the top, I'll say Holes. That's a good one.
Season 1, episode 10. Go check it out. It's from just about a year ago. So yeah, Holes is a classic film, and Kody hates it, so it's a fun one to listen to.
Not great. John Voight, terrible, just terrible. But
okay,
go listen to it.
There's the ad. Cody tried to skip it. We're doing initial thoughts.
Good morning, Vietnam.
And I'm gonna be honest, I hadn't seen this movie since 2015 either. So I was kind of in the same spot where it was like, I saw it, I kind of liked it. I didn't really know how I felt about it. And I rewatched it, and I'm not a huge fan of this film off the bat. There's a lot of characters in it that just do dumb things or that don't really make sense in the whole scheme of just like a story. One that really stands out to me is like the Jake Johnson control room character. Like I really like Jake Johnson a lot, but his character just doesn't work a lot for me. I think Kingpin dude, Vincent D'Onofrio, I think he's decent. He kind of makes sense, but Chris Pratt is just, it's not even that it's Chris Pratt. I just think his character is extremely unlikable. There's not really a lot of redeeming qualities about him. Other than
what do you think about his accent?
he can train raptors, so that's cool. But otherwise, I don't know. He seems like a whack dude. His accent is something, I don't know. It's also just kind of like a remake of it's not even that it's like a continuation, it's just like reworks the same thing. Like you get the little children angle in the park, and like it's all the same shit that happens. There's nothing that's new or exciting. I don't think there's any moments that like particularly stand out as better or on par with anything that the original or even its trilogy does. So maybe I'll throw it over to you, Kody. Do you agree with that?
Corbin's coming after it. I actually want to throw over to Sebasty before I do mine.
Okay.
Let's hear your initial thoughts, okay?
Well, actually, I liked it more this time.
Hey, differing opinions. I love to hear it. Let's hear it.
So I was actually, the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, this is just a ripoff, like you were saying. But this time I was kind of like, okay, I was like, I guess they did do it a little different. They trained dinosaurs and it was different. I liked it. Big thing I like about the Jurassic World and Park franchise, it's kind of like they're almost a thriller the whole time for me, because I don't want to see any dinosaurs die. Kind of a softie for that, but yeah. So I thought it was pretty good. I liked it more the second time. So
okay, cool.
Dinosaurs are sick. I'll give you like, it's cool to see dinosaurs. You don't really get a lot of dinosaur media, so
yeah, I think we can all agree on that. And funny enough, I wanted to go last just because this was actually the first time I've seen this movie, so a little bit of a different experience, I think, than you guys. I have seen the first three like Jurassic Park movies. First one's obviously very good, the other two, whatever. But I was kind of surprised by this movie because it's more of like a monster movie than I would think like a normal Jurassic Park movie. Because obviously you have this Indominus Rex, and it's literally just eating everything. And then obviously like the main goal is to kill it. Nobody can do it. Blah blah blah. Goes to the end, everybody's dying or whatever. I think this movie's okay. Korbin, I do agree with you on a lot of stances. The acting, not very good. The characters, I think sometimes in big franchises like this, and similar to like Transformers, or just like the humans suck, basically. Like the humans don't need to be there at all, I don't think. The Chris Pratt training stuff, I think, is cool, and that's probably my favorite part of the movie. But
it doesn't fit the storyline like that. Well, I don't know, like,
yeah, but it's cool, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
No, I back it back to as well. I think like just the thriller aspect. Like I was on the edge of my seat for the majority of this movie because I was like, I don't want Chris Pratt to die. I don't want these raptors to die. Like if one of these,
you thought Chris Pratt was gonna die?
I don't know, dude. I haven't seen the sequels. Maybe he's not in them.
You haven't seen the trailer?
Yeah, maybe I have. But I think for a thriller, it does work. As a Jurassic like Park movie, I'm not sure, but I would say this is the best Jurassic Park sequel that I've seen, mostly because the other ones are like terrible. So I'm kind of in between on this movie. I think some parts are pretty fun and like exciting, but like the dialogue and the characters are overall pretty bad, I would say.
I kind of see what you're saying with it's a monster movie. It's kind of
similar
to like, oh, this is like a Godzilla type thing. Like, you know,
that was my other thing. Yeah, like the humans in Godzilla suck too. Like
right.
Big monster movies, like it's hard to find that aspect of it, I guess.
But there's nothing as scary as the velociraptors in the kitchen in the original Jurassic Park. Nothing in this movie is even somewhat comparable to that, and it does that in a small scene that's not even like the big set piece of the T-Rex. Like, and this movie doesn't accomplish anything close to that in terms of being a thriller, in terms of being a monster movie. So I just don't think it's living up to it whatsoever in that regard.
Fair. There are like a couple like jump scares and stuff, but like for good horror, you are probably right. It is more like Sebasty said.
It's more like kid friendly.
It is PG-13 somehow. I mean,
except for that babysitter that gets like,
yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's rough.
Well, that and there's a lot of people getting eaten. So,
oh yeah,
the airplane blowing up is also tough.
You mean the helicopter?
Yeah, the helicopter.
Yeah. No, but the body count for the Indominus Rex, I mean, it's got to be in the hundreds easily, I would say. So, I mean, I feel like they should have just committed and gone rated R, but obviously they're not going to because it's going to make $1 billion. But yeah, I don't know. There are a couple tough scenes, like you said, and I'm sure we'll talk about them later. But this movie, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, honestly.
That's fair.
And that's just based off how bad I think Jurassic Park sequels are. It's hard to make a movie similar to Jurassic Park in a different vein because that movie is so good on its own, I think. But
yeah, it's a classic. I mean, it's hard to touch it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the second and third ones, just while they're maybe not as good, they try and be different types of movies and try and do different things. Like it's not a carbon copy, whereas like this one falls more into that realm. So where it's like it feels a little bit more cheap. But listen, I think this is a movie that is just kind of bland and can appeal to a wide breadth of audiences, which is why it makes $1 billion. I don't think it's as interesting as like the Marvel movies making $1 billion, because those are like creating something new and building upon something for a longer period of time. But there's something that you gotta, speak to the fact that it is at least popular with a wide breadth of people. Let's move on to roll credits.
Roll credits.
Cody, take it away.
Yeah, I got a couple of things. First off, I kind of just wanted to poke a hole in the title a little bit. Obviously, it's like riffing off like Disney World and stuff like that. But I mean, this is not a Jurassic World by any means, I don't think. It's literally in the exact same spot as Jurassic Park. So I'm not too sure, where they got this world from, but the title in itself, I think, is pretty dumb. Yeah. And moving swiftly on, my other thing, I think the opening shot is actually kind of cool. Sort of, you have the egg and the Indominus Rex is trying to like claw out and stuff. I think that's cool opening. It sort of gives that tone at the beginning, like maybe this is a little bit different. But I don't even know what the closing shot. Could you tell me what the closing shot was, Korbin? Because I don't even remember. Some like zoom out of some stuff. But the opening's cool. Everything after that might be on a downward spiral. But yeah.
Right after that, then you get the bird's foot.
Right. That's cool too.
Into the snow, and it's the big noise.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, birds are dinosaurs too. Wow.
That's a good moment. Down. But then literally everything from that moment on goes swiftly downwards.
That was your favorite part of the movie?
There's one other part there's one other part that I think is good. Sebasty, what do you think? Jurassic World, roll credits. What are your thoughts?
For my roll credits, my big thing was the cameo by Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, I like that.
We talk about that. That was a little odd.
How much money do you think he got for that? Probably a lot.
Well, you kind of talked about it being the title being a tribute to like Disney World. Jimmy Fallon is like, there's a monorail at Universal Studios that I guess he's like the host of the monorail. And then also at Universal Studios, which I did just go to over spring break, there is a Jimmy Fallon ride. And this is obviously a Universal movie. So, I mean, NBC Universal, like he's basically owned by the people who made this movie. So it's not, he probably got a decent paycheck, but also he was kind of forced to probably do it.
I didn't know he had a ride. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's actually one of the worst rides, in my opinion.
There you go. It sucks. I didn't even ride it. So
who would want to go on the Jimmy Fallon line or whatever? Yeah, that's fine.
But also talking about that, there is a Jurassic Park area at the Universal Studios, the Islands of Adventure. So there's like a water raft ride, and they actually have a new like Jurassic World themed, because this was before even Jurassic World existed. They had this portion of the park, but now there's a Jurassic World themed like Velociraptor roller coaster. The wait time is like 2 hours for all the fucking time, or at least the entire day we were there. So that's pretty much all I was going to talk about. Jurassic World's, it's a unique title. It's faithful, I guess, to the original.
It's catchy.
When we get to trivia, we're going to talk potential other titles that this movie could have been. So,
cool. Nice.
Stupidest part.
You stupid.
Sebasty, why don't you take it away? What's the stupidest part of this movie?
I have 3 things that I really wanted to hit on.
Okay.
So we'll go with the first one. The scene where the owner of the company is the only helicopter pilot on the entire island.
It's a little suspicious.
Are you kidding me? They got like 6 or 7 guys that are prior military and are shooting guns at helicopters, and he's the only person who can fly one.
And they're on an island. Like, how you would think? Yeah, I guess they all came by like boat and stuff. But I mean, you got to have more than one. I think I definitely back that.
Yeah. He's a bad one at that too.
Not good.
Yeah, does he might not even like technically have his license yet. He's doing still like test runs and stuff. I don't know. Strange.
Didn't make any sense.
Does not end well for him.
No, it's not. My next one, the bird attack. Why was there a giant kiss scene between Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard right there? Like,
That's a good question.
Their whole relationship is just not well crafted. It's a bad, like, they maybe have some chemistry, but like their interactions on screen don't make any sense of like why they would be interested in each other.
yeah, you could almost put their whole relationship as the stupidest part in this movie, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because they're both attractive. Like that's their like, I mean, fair enough.
My last one, Chris Pratt, his line at the end of how we better stick together for survival.
Yeah,
I thought hands down that was the dumbest piece of dialogue I've ever seen in a movie.
that was my biggest one as well. That's the biggest like cheeseball line of all time. It's like laughably bad. Obviously, like I said, this first time I was actually like just laughing at the movie after he said that. But yeah, no, that's bad. Korbin, you gotta roll that clip. Roll that clip, not crip. I'm sorry. Roll that clip for the audience because they need to hear that line. It's that bad.
So what do we do now?
Probably stick together. For survival.
That was my big one. Same along with Sebasty. Just their relationship in general, terrible. And I mentioned earlier, Chris Pratt's accent. Oh man. I mean, he's a big Southern boy, I guess, all of a sudden, but again, laughable. My other one that I did have a lot of beef with as well. You know, I don't know how viable it actually is that some military guy would try and use raptors for some sort of operations. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like, you know, it's a movie. I guess it's passable because these are like killing machines. But I would say that is my second dumbest part after the dialogue. I mean, no actual military guy is gonna say, you know, let's get a team of raptors and let's go to Iraq and fuck some shit up. I don't buy it, but I could be wrong on that. You know, come at me in the comments and everything, but I'd say that's probably pretty dumb.
Yeah, I don't think they would like maybe they would use them as like weapons where they like drop one in an area and just like let it wreak havoc. But I don't think they would be like, we're gonna like fight alongside raptors.
They're just gonna give them parachutes and go to work.
Or like, are they like basically like the dogs that are over there, or like the
Okay.
or like a horse? Like they used to ride horses. They're gonna ride raptors into battle.
Yeah, I was lost by the whole we're gonna train the raptors to fight wars for us. So I was like, they were like, oh, these are the best killing machines there is. I mean, I watched 3 of them die pretty easy by explosives. So
yeah, the rocket launcher came in handy there, but they're not that indestructible, like you're saying. Like, and once you like lose a couple, like you got to train these suckers for 2 more years to get another team. Like, it doesn't seem like financially viable either, because every time you lose one, you basically have to double down on your purchase. I don't know. No, you know, military, they're good at spending money at least, so they'll keep it that.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, you know, the military spending is a viable option. I mean, I could see it happening.
I mean, but if it like maybe they're just starting off with the raptors and then they're moving up to the T-Rexes next. I mean,
right?
Who's gonna stop a T-Rex, bro?
Well, I think the idea is like there's this thought that like raptors are the smartest of all the dinosaurs, so those would be the ones that you could like train the most. But I don't know.
No.
Also, you don't. He talked about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna use them to go search the caves in Afghanistan." Bro, no one's searching caves anymore. You just drop a bomb on the cave now. Like, what?
The Raptors a new bomb, I guess. Yeah, just send him in there with one. Why not? You got any dumb parts, Korbin?
Yeah, I got a couple dumb parts.
I know you got a list. I'm waiting to hear it.
Oh, well, I mean, you guys hit some of them, but Kody, I'm surprised you haven't said this. The ending is the most Deus Ex Machina of all time.
It is, but we haven't talked about Deus Ex Machina for a while because you're always dogging me about it.
We haven't. Maybe it'll be my filmmaking lesson today.
Oh.
But basically, yeah, the Mosasaurus or whatever, the giant water creature, just saves the day for him. I mean, that's the only reason they survived. The Indominus, I mean, it just came up and ate it. I don't know. I guess you could say the T-Rex and the Velociraptor had it under control, but I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, they were tag teaming him pretty well, but obviously the knockout blow didn't sit well with him. But I mean, they had him down. It probably would have kept going for a little bit, but hard to predict, I would say. Close call.
Yeah, now that you bring that up, I didn't even think about that till now, but the fact that Blue was just an absolute, like, just started dominating this giant animal. I was like, the other two raptors that it faced, easy. Like,
and the T-Rex was getting whooped too until Blue showed up.
Blue's built different.
Yeah, he is built there. But yeah, I mean that the big whale Shamu thing, whatever. I mean,
Mosasaurus.
It has the same motion like every time it comes out of the water too. So it's kind of just like a cheap effect, I would say. Like it does at the beginning and then with the assistant, and then the exact same thing in all the exact same spots. So it's kind of lazy in the writing as well. But I mean, yeah, if you got Blue on your side, he probably communicated that thing. It was like, hey, come up right now. It's that guy's brain. But
that's true. They might be homies.
They probably are. They're boys.
All right, Kody, what are your thoughts on Jake Johnson's character? Not even his acting, just like the character. Just hit me with it. What do you think?
I don't know. When we say it, I actually really like him. That was one of my high points in the movie.
Wow.
I think for comic relief, the guy from New Girl, he's good. What other like media is Jake Johnson actually in where he's funny? I think not a lot. So I enjoyed him in this movie.
What about
that was my favorite part
in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Who's he in that? Oh,
he's Peter Parker.
Yeah, he's good in that too. Fair enough.
What about
anime doesn't count? Come on.
Oh, okay, doesn't count. What about in that movie on Netflix, the poker movie?
I don't think I've seen it.
Well,
I heard it's pretty good though.
New Girl's good. Win It All is the movie.
I mean, yeah, he's literally in nothing else. So
I just don't think his character makes a whole lot of sense. Like he's just there for cheap jokes that I don't think work. That I don't think Jake Johnson is pulling off, to be honest, because I just don't think he fits that character. So it's like a double whammy of why is this here?
Yeah, but I think he's perfect for that character. And I think the control room.
He's not schluppy enough. Jake Johnson needs to play schluppier. That guy's too put together.
I think you've just seen New Girl too much.
No, because he's also like that. I mean, that's what he is in Spider-Verse too, and that's what he is in another movie that I'll talk about later. So
yeah, but you want him typecast. Let him do something a little bit different. Come on.
Well, be better. What else? I already said that there was not really a good scary moment, so that's dumb. I agree. This should probably be rated R. It would be better if it was bloodier. Let's be honest. It'd be more realistic. Just in general, characters are unlikable. There's no one in this movie. There's like, okay, so yeah, they have Jake Johnson, whether or not it works. They put these people in there like that are like kind of famous, like who's worked with, but none of them live up to like Samuel L. Jackson or fucking Newman, dude, just in the control room. Like this control room sucks in comparison to the Jurassic Park control room. So there you go.
That is true. I mean, go ahead, Sebasty. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying that, like, you're not going to beat Samuel Jackson much in any movie, though. So,
yeah,
should have got him back.
Yeah. He should have been the owner of the park. That'd been sick. But yeah, I mean, like Jeff Goldblum, bro. The characters and actors in the first one, I think, are ridiculously good. And I mean, it's hard to live up to that. I don't think they necessarily tried to live up to that in this one. I think they were trying to do something much different than like a character piece. But I mean, I definitely agree. Yeah, Chris Pratt's cool, but
it's definitely hard to compare yourself to a cast of like Richard Attenborough, Laura Dern, everyone else.
They brought them all back now for the third one.
That's true. That's true. Well, not Richard Attenborough because he's
maybe
dead,
it'll be good. Probably not.
Let's move on to favorite scene.
She is very gorgeous to me.
I'll take it away. There's when we first arrive at the park, they get there, they open the doors, like of the hotel room. It goes out, it plays the original Jurassic Park theme. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. It hits the right spot. It's a good moment. Everything else kind of sucks. There's nothing as interesting. Like there's just so much wonder in watching Jurassic Park. In unlike many other movies, there's just a lot of wonder that lives in that soundtrack, in the imagery that's seen there, in the way it like kind of attaches to you as a child. And I think this is like the singular moment in this where it kind of feels like that magic and wonder. And everything else is just, not as good in comparison. But I think it's just probably the original score. It's too good.
That's a cop-out answer.
What's your favorite scene, Kody?
I have a couple. We talked about the tag team at the end. Definitely a solid scene, I think. But the one I did want to talk about, basically, I mean, the thing for, like Sebasty said, or maybe I said this, I really like the raptors. Like, if the raptors died, I was going to be mad. So when that one raptor got blown away with a rocket launcher, it hit me a little bit. I was actually like, are you serious? Like, a little bit mad, I think. And for this movie to give me an actual emotional reaction, I think it succeeded pretty well. So I want to throw out there, killing off a raptor, not cool, but in the grand scheme of the movie, I think it was pretty effective. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, I also agree with the raptor scene. I was like, damn, like,
oh, it's just tough.
Why'd they have to do that to my boy over there?
Yeah, I agree.
I had two favorite scenes as well. The final fight scene, as much as I'm like, all right, blue wouldn't have made that much of a difference, it was still pretty sick seeing like the T-Rex kind of come out and like show it what's up. My next one, this is my favorite scene of the whole movie, and it's very lame probably to most people, but I thought it was really cool. The scene when the Indominus Rex gets out and Chris Pratt's under that vehicle and he cuts that gas line and he's like drizzling the gas all over him. I was like, that's pretty sick, honestly.
Yeah, no, I like that scene too, and it does have like some intensity in it. I think the problem kind of is they do like a similar thing like 2 times after that, so it's kind of like, we saw this already. When is he gonna eat Chris Pratt? But no, that first scene with the gas too, super smart. Definitely good scene. That when the first escape, I thought was actually pretty cool too, where he sort of tricks him and then he eats the fat security guard, and then he just books it across the island. So yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Anything else from you, Korbin? Probably not.
No, that's really all I got.
I feel like Korbin was thinking of something. He's like, no, I got nothing. I was like,
Yeah. You're thinking really hard there about it.
I'm preparing for the next step. So let's talk filmmaking.
We are Full Sail University. We take dreams seriously.
Kody, do you have any thoughts you wanted to speak on, or should I just take it away?
I had one quick one I wanted to touch on. The CGI in this movie, it's okay. It's a little spotty in parts, I think. I think the Raptors is pretty good. The Indominus is sort of in and out. The T-Rex is very good as well. But I think it's important to point out how difficult it is to act against like absolutely nothing, to act against CGI characters. And props to like most of the actors in this movie for their physical acting in that sense. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Take it over, Teach.
Well, something I was going to talk about is, you guys have probably seen that viral image of like the dudes in the gray suits with the raptor like head pieces on, and they're like looking up at Chris Pratt, and he's like acting against them. And like the thing is, that's interesting, and like that's good for acting against, and it's good for eye lines, but in reality, like those people aren't actually doing anything. Like they're just being, when they film that, they're just going to erase them from that image and then comp in something else in place of them. It's not like they're actually being motion captured in the same way. Overall, I think the special effects are pretty decent, especially like for 2015 standards, for doing like something that's kind of fleshy and translucent, which is always a little bit harder. It's why living things are harder than, maybe an Autobot. Even though there's a lot of reflections there to get, but I think the CGI effects are pretty good. The other thing I want to talk about, Deus Ex Machina, Kody used to always talk about. I think we've explained it on the show before, but essentially it's this old term from Greece where there's these plays and there's a plot, there's some unsolvable problem in a movie or a story, and the way it gets saved is by a Deus Ex Machina, which means the God machine. So basically, literally, someone would come from the sky and be God and fix the problems in the story, and then it would just resolve everything. So that idea kind of is attributed to this movie for me, where it's like they had all these problems, and then boom, something solves it. It's an easy plot device, and it's something that I've it's easy to turn to, and I understand why you do it, but it's also something you can call out as like, hey, this is maybe a little cheap, or like easy. This kind of, it's solved just a little easier than it all wraps up very nicely, right?
Yeah, and we've talked about that bunch in the past. I mean, it's not easy to write a big budget movie like this, I think, and like you get stuff like that all the time. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of expected in this type of movie.
It's not even something that's inherently wrong. Like it's a way, no. It's a storytelling advice. It's something you can use. And it's very hard to come up with something that's fluid and can fit your story and be a great resolution. That's one of the hardest parts about writing, is how do you end something?
I back that. I've always said that about television. That's the hardest thing to do about a good show, is end it correctly. But yeah, rip Game of Thrones, by the way.
Did you finish it?
I did, yeah. Oh man, we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk at the end.
I'm excited to hear about that.
Weird movie details trivia.
Naked grandma.
Naked, huh?
I got 3 questions.
Wow.
What about you guys? 2?
I've got 2 as well.
2? Okay, so I'll ask the first one.
Start off.
Hopefully there's no overlap here. First one, what musician makes a cameo when the pterodactyl type bird, I don't know what dinosaurs they are. They're like pterodactyls, and they're attacking the people on the like concourse area. There's a musician that makes a cameo, and he's running away from them. And I have choices if you guys.
I do know the answer.
Okay. Sebasty,
I didn't even know.
I give Sebasty the choices.
I'll give the choices. Is it A, Zach Brown of Zach Brown Band? B, Jack Johnson? C, Ziggy Marley? D, Jimmy Buffett?
I'm definitely gonna go Zach from Zach Brown Band.
Kody, what's the answer?
Zach Brown guy. I believe the answer's Jimmy Buffett, because he has 2 like margaritas in his hand.
Yeah,
I did notice it. Very funny.
There's a guy, he runs away with 2 margaritas, and
yeah.
Margaritaville is obviously on Universal Studios property as well, so there's another connection there with Jimmy Buffett.
Good shout out.
A couple times, honestly. Been there a couple times.
It's a good place. Good place to eat.
It is.
My first question, I went a little bit easy, I think, on trivia this week. We'll see. But the first one really has nothing to do about this movie. So which Jurassic Park movie has a raptor that actually talks in a dream sequence, and he actually says one word? He says, Alan. There are no options. Sebasty, hit me first. Which one has a raptor saying Alan?
I'm going to go ahead and guess the second one, but I have not seen anything after Jurassic Park.
Okay.
I'm saying it's Jurassic Park 3. I was trying to look up and see if it had a different name, but it's literally just Jurassic Park 3. So
okay. So Korbin cheated a little bit.
No, but, I knew it was the third one. Because Alan
right.
Grant's not in the second one. So.
Oh. Wow, I didn't even know that. That's big brain.
That's genius.
It's just Malcolm, I think, in the second one, right?
Yeah, it's just Goldblum. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Fair enough. All right, good job, Korbin. Sebasty, hit us with your first one.
All right, so my first one, I feel like it's pretty easy, but what year was the Jurassic Park Jeep in this one?
Oh, shit.
I have no idea. 19. I feel like I'm going to be way off here. Was it the year the movie came out? 1991? 92? I'm going to say 91. I don't know.
Yes.
Or is it like older, even older than that, like 1985?
I would think it'd probably be.
Let's see what Kody says.
I'm literally just throwing numbers at the wall right now.
I think you're in the right thought process. I do think it is likely, like, I'm going to go 1990, just to be different. Brand new.
It's a 1992. 1992.
Okay, so it was just like
That was off.
the year the movie came out.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Actually, yeah, it came out in 93. So yeah. Okay. All right. My second question. What was the original title for this movie gonna be? Any choices?
Should I just throw out some names here or something?
Let me do choices. I got choices.
Okay, I was gonna start just rattling off names.
Jurassic Park 4, Jurassic Park Extinction, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, Cretaceous Park.
Ooh, I like that one. I'll let Sebasty pick from these great choices first.
You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say Jurassic World was from the beginning. Hopefully.
Okay, what do you think, Kody?
I believe.
I think we could all agree that no matter what, these are some great options I came up with,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
These are pretty good. I'm pretty sure I know the answer. I'm pretty sure it is Extinction, but maybe that was like a scrap title for one of the sequels or something. But I think I've heard that somewhere before, so I'll go with that one.
It is Jurassic Park Extinction. Good work, Kody.
Too easy.
The title really wouldn't have made sense for this.
No, yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, probably better than Jurassic World though.
Well, maybe the people were the ones that are gonna end up extinct. I don't know.
I like that. That'd be dope. Maybe that's what they're doing in the third one.
Dominion.
Dominion. Yeah, that's a terrible name. But my second question, gonna give you guys a lot of options here. So, which animal wasn't included in the Indominus Rex's DNA? Because obviously they threw a bunch in there. So I'm gonna rattle off all some options here. Tell me which one was not in it. So we have raptor.
Wait, are these mentioned in the movie, or these are like
I don't know.
about after the fact?
That's too much information. All right, your options are raptor, T-Rex, mosquito, frog, cuttlefish. Which one's wrong?
Oh, easy.
Easy.
Mosquito.
Yeah. Mosquito. Are you fucking stupid?
Wow, should have brought some better trivia this week, boys.
Yeah, that was weak. That was weak, Kody.
So my point was I was asking if this was like someone after the fact came out and was like,
Oh,
here's all the things that are in the Indominus Rex, or if it was like just the
No.
things, because I knew what they said in the movie.
yeah, I didn't do too much research, so I was just going off the movie.
Gotcha. All right, Jacob, what's your last question?
So my last question is, who is the only returning cast member from the original movies?
I know this one.
I do as well.
Mr. BD Wong.
Mr. Law and Order himself.
Yeah, love that guy.
Yeah.
He's only in it for like 5 seconds, too.
But he's like
Sucks.
he's kind of the bad guy of this movie.
Yeah, he's returning in Dominion too.
Ooh. Say less. Hold on, dude. Let me
He's in
answer
every
this.
movie, I think.
Villainous turn. Okay, my last question. This one I don't think you guys are going to get, but there are choices. What is the name of the 2012 Sundance science fiction rom-com starring Aubrey Plaza, Mark Duplass, and Jake Johnson that is directed by this film's director, Colin Trevorrow?
Oh man, I think it's that really bad movie. It's the Book of Henry, isn't it?
I have choices.
Sorry. Let's hear the choice.
Safety Not Guaranteed,
Mm.
The End of Love, 10 Years, People Like Us, Mars.
Well, that's
Science fiction rom-com won
Not even close.
best writers award at Sundance in 2012. Aubrey
What?
Plaza, Mark Duplass, Jake Johnson. So that's where the Jake Johnson connection comes from. This is like
Fair.
one of the only other movies this guy's directed other than this third Jurassic World, this Jurassic World, and then this Sundance film is like all he's ever directed.
What
Did he
was
direct-
the
yeah.
first option?
Yeah, give the options again.
Safety Not Guaranteed, The End of Love, 10 Years, People Like Us, Mars.
I'm gonna go End of Love.
I kind of like the first option. I'm gonna go Safety Not Guaranteed.
See, this was a tricky one because actually 3 of these movies are Aubrey Plaza movies and 2 of them are Mark Duplass movies. So they are all in these different movies, but Safety Not Guaranteed is the film. You can actually watch it on Netflix. It's not bad. It's a decent decent flick. I watched it last year at some point. So it's okay. So I think I've talked about it before on the pod as well. But
Good guess there, Kody. Good guess.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Straight guess there. I've never heard that movie somehow. So,
just an interesting indie film that got.
Yeah.
That's really why he got this movie. I mean, it was because he directed this, small indie sci-fi. So
fair enough. Might have to check it out.
let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. And we're back with Who Can Act.
Wow.
I'll get it started here. Actually, we've kind of not really talked about her at all, and I feel like that's kind of bad on us. But Bryce Dallas Howard is kind of the center of this movie, and I think she's pretty good, actually. Especially acting against Chris Pratt, who's kind of just doing this really douchey, like standoffish, like unlikable character. She's also kind of doing like the unlikable thing, like the aunt who's not really there. But her like redemption and her like actual, caring and like base level, that she's like a decent person shines through enough that I think she's good character. And I think Bryce Dallas Howard is what makes her likable. So that's my first version.
I agree big time. I came into this movie remembering not liking her at all. I remember watching it the first time and I was like, she's who I'm gonna recast her, like, easy. And then when I watched it again, I was like, actually, she's my Who Can Act. Like, I like her in this a lot, actually.
Yeah,
she's great.
I think she is good. Out of like the main 4 or 5, I would say she's by far the best. She did make my honorable mention list here, mostly for her ability to sprint in high heels. But yeah,
that's talent.
I mean, that's tough to do. But I mean, her and Chris Pratt's chemistry, whatever, and her chemistry with supposedly her nephews, whatever. But I think she's good as well. My other pick, who I do want to throw out, is Jake Johnson, who Korbin's been trashing the entire pod. I think he's funny, man.
I like Jake Johnson. I don't like him in this.
Okay, that's fine. But I mean, I feel like out of all of these, characters and actors, he is almost the most believable. He's sort of just like this nerd who was a big fan of the first Jurassic Park and just wants to be a part of this one.
I just don't think I can see him as a nerd. Like, even in real life, he's not like that.
You don't buy his intelligence. Okay.
I don't think he's dumb. I just don't think he's like a nerd.
You think he's dumb. But exactly. He convinced me he was smart. So I think that's good acting. So that's my pick for this movie. Definitely.
Second person I wanted to shout out is the man himself, BD Wong. He's back. I mean, he's playing a classic character and he's killing it. I mean, he's fun. He's kind of menacing a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's always been a little bit of a sketchy guy, and it's kind of come out that he was dealing with some sketchy stuff. So interesting villain turn. I like it.
What's his screen time though? I mean, it's got to be under 10 minutes.
I mean, yeah, probably not great, but he's in Law and Order. He's the GOAT.
It's got to be more than Zendaya and Dune, though, right?
You're damn right. You're damn right.
It's probably within like 10 seconds. All
right. I don't know, but he's like in the other ones too. It's a setup. It's not even
right. He's a returning character at least.
He's a legacy character. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I had as well. Sebasty, got anybody else?
No, that's it.
Who can't act?
That's my opinion!
You guys ever heard of Jake Johnson? He's fucking terrible in this. Dude, I like the Jake Johnson shows, the New Girl, the Into the Spider-Verse. Safety Not Guaranteed. He's good in that. But he doesn't know anything about being in this fucking movie. That's all I can say.
You're just a hater, man. I think you're just too wrapped up in his New Girl character.
The Jurassic, but he's like that in every other movie too, and in real life. You ever heard Jake Johnson just chat?
I have, man.
And he's like that in the Win It All or whatever the movie is. I don't know. Let the man be typecast. It's fun.
I have him as my can't act either. I thought it was below him.
Thank you. That's also true. I agree with that.
After you did New Girl, like, dude, you were awesome in New Girl, and then you do this. It's kind of like,
it's kind of sad. I don't know.
It is probably a step down. That is a good point.
Which is weird. I mean, it's not though, because it's like $1 billion movie. He probably did get paid.
I bet he got paid more for like the last season of New Girl than this movie.
Last season, New Girl, also bad. Talk about TV show endings.
Yeah, we don't go into that one either.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys are ganging up on me now. Not a big fan, but come on, dude. How do you not like Jake Johnson? Tough. But
what else
like
you got?
Jake
Who you got, Kody? Who you got, Kody?
I mean, you could really name anybody here. I don't think there'd be too big of an argument. Obviously, Chris Pratt. We really have not talked about a couple of these though, and I do. Vincent D'Onofrio, the Kingpin himself. I think he's god awful in this. The dialogue does not help. I mean, it's like a Star Wars prequel situation where is it bad acting? Is it just like poorly written? I don't know, but everything that comes out of D'Onofrio's mouth, not a fan of. And then my big one, which we haven't talked about the kids at all, which is crazy because I feel like they're very hateable. I mean, the older brother, I don't know what the hell he's doing in this movie. He's just staring at girls constantly. And he's like
sulking.
He's not even approaching them. Like, at least, if he's a baller and he's making moves, I would at least respect it. I got better moves than the older brother. That's all that matters. So,
Well, yeah, I would hope so. He's creepy.
Doesn't take much, man.
But yeah, obviously I'm recasting this kid very quickly here, but I think it's terrible. You might have to look up his name because I'm not even giving the pleasure of doing that. So no shout outs for this kid, but he's pretty bad, I think.
Yeah, I have him down as can't act either. I thought he was terrible. Like, I mean, his character wasn't a good character to begin with, but then you just pair it with how he played it, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, we missed this for dumb part. Even like the setup for them is, their parents are getting divorced, so they're going to send them away for the weekend. Kind of just not a great start to those characters. And
You
then
have no sympathy for children of divorce, Kody?
Well, I do because I am one. Thanks for pointing that out. We're getting deep.
So you don't feel like this is relatable? This isn't like as good as Marriage Story for you? This doesn't like hit on those same levels?
Oh, it is. But if this kid had a better performance, maybe I'd be saying differently. But no, he's bad. He's bad.
I think I would have liked if my parents, if they were getting a divorce, send me to one of the coolest places on the earth.
That's true.
Yeah, Kody, 2 Christmases. That's what he says. 2 birthdays.
Yeah, love 2 Christmases. Good stuff. Anybody got any bad actors? We need to end this segment.
Hey, man, if you're a longtime fan of the show, you know that I hate children and their acting abilities. At first I kind of denied it, but I think I've begun to embrace it. It's just a fact. Like, I don't know. These kids These kids are bad in this movie in particular. And I'm waiting for a movie with some good children acting. Might have to suggest one soon or something. Get the good kids back. They're terrible.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think we agree all around on that one.
I just wish they weren't in the movie, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just so pointless. Like, I think that's the reason
the kids in the first are so much more fun and interesting.
Yeah, I feel like they felt like they had to throw some kids in because the kids in the first were so good. But yeah.
They're mirroring them.
That was a terrible idea.
The recast.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
I got a couple picks here. Kody, get us started.
Yeah, I have a couple as well. A lot of fun ones this week for me. So, buckle up here. My first one, I'm getting rid of Vincent D'Onofrio. Like I said, not a big fan of him in this movie.
It's kind of obvious, right? Dave Bautista?
No, it's my other obvious one.
Oh.
I want to inject some more comedy.
Okay, Adam Sandler.
So Adam Sandler would be my first choice. He does have some dramatic chops, as we've seen a few times now. But I want full off, like, just physical comedy Sandler in this role. Be the bumbling military guy who, thinks he can train raptors and then gets eaten by one in the end. I think that'd be fun. Another choice for him, Rob Riggle. I think it would be super funny. He's good in small doses.
I'll take Rob Riggle.
Yeah, no, I think he's underrated. 21 Jump Street, super funny. So maybe like lessen the role and give it to Rob Riggle if you don't want to go Sandman's way. So that's my first one.
If I'm not mistaken, Rob Riggle was in the military too, right?
I think so.
Because in The Office, he's talking about his military stuff, and a lot of it was true. Yeah,
I think he was a Marine.
Yeah. Even better choice. There you go. That's why
There you
Sebastian.
go.
Let's hear your recast, Sebastian.
So I'm only recasting one, but the young brother, Ty Simpkins, you're out of here, dude. Like most annoying person in the entire movie. And I'm gonna recast with Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. So
Nice.
I just think I could like that character more if he played it.
No, I definitely like that. I'm a Stranger fans guy, so yeah, definitely bring me Finn Wolfhard or whoever the hell that kid was.
Yeah, Ty Simpkins, get out of here, dude.
It's definitely a casting that like I could have seen happening. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he was in the newest like Ghostbusters. He's definitely
Yeah.
a franchise guy.
he's done kind of like a couple of those.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
that's a good choice. I think I back it.
I'm replacing Chris Pratt.
Mhm.
And I'm actually going to you mentioned 21 Jump Street. So let's take everyone's favorite hot but funny guy, Channing Tatum.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
think-
Jonah Hill.
Nah,
Yeah, I
nah,
thought we were going shirtless.
Channing Tatum. I just think he's more likable. I think there's just something like he can still play that like douchey kind of asshole character that Chris Pratt plays in this, but I think he is funnier and I think he would have had more fun with it and he'd be more likable. So Channing Tatum.
I agree with that. I do think he would be likable.
Good pick. I do like the Jump Street movies. He's good in those, but
He's
I
in
would've
Dog.
rather- I've not seen. Have you seen that?
I've heard it's good, low key.
No
It's not bad.
I actually just watched Lost City with him, and
I've also heard that's good.
it was really good. I was surprised.
Wow.
I was like, wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
Alright. Might have to check that one out. All right. I guess a good pick. I definitely would have rather seen Jonah Hill, but that's just me.
I mean, I like Jonah Hill too, but
I don't know if I could believe him.
I think it could be fun. Make it Emma Stone in the Bryce Dallas Howard role, and then give
Okay.
me Jonah Hill and Emma Stone. There you go.
I back that. Let's make that movie. My second one.
Why don't I hear? I had another pairing. So speaking
Go
of
for it.
pairings, if we're gonna pair the Bryce, I don't have one for Channing. I think Bryce Dallas Howard can stick with Channing Tatum, but if we're gonna stick with Chris Pratt, I say we bring in Rashida Jones and make her the Bryce Dallas Howard character.
Parks and Rec throwback.
Yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
sick. They probably haven't been in anything since then.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Kody. Throw it over to you.
Yeah, my second one, I'm taking out the other kid, so we can replace the younger one with Finn Wolfhard. I actually want to take a different direction with the character too. One of my main gripes in the movie, there's no old people. Where are the old people at? So I want to
Ageist.
change it up to be like a grandpa-grandson relationship. And I have a couple options. I was thinking Robert De Niro, obviously, or Al Pacino.
Mm.
We're bringing out the real old guys, a little hoo-ah
No
in
Pesci?
Jurassic Park. Joe Pesci is actually a very good choice. We'll throw him in the casting too, but yeah, I just want to change the dynamics. I mean, the older brother's character is just, not good in any sense of the word. So throw Grandpa in, throw me a better actor and maybe spice it up. Obviously, I want him to die as well. I'd love to see Pacino getting eaten by the Indominus. But that's probably
Oh,
just
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Yeah, he's going to have a British accent though, and that doesn't make any sense.
It's gonna throw it off a little bit.
Yeah.
What if it's
So
a British kid?
All right. Can Finn Wolfhard do a British accent? Probably.
Yeah, sure.
You asked me now. That's it. Yeah.
I think Michael Caine's done an American accent too. So
Yeah, but I mean, if I hear an American accent of that guy, it's just gonna sound weird at this point. So
okay, fine. We've had
go-
this discussion before. It's
yeah, we have.
pointless.
But yeah, also I just throw out. I would definitely want to replace the director, Trevorrow. He was actually in line to do the third Star Wars movie, which turned out to be Rise of Skywalker, which is his own shit show. But I think they saw this and they're like, yeah, let's probably not give that guy a Star Wars movie. So kind of tough because he had it in line. Maybe if he just skipped over this one, he could have gone straight to, an actual decent movie. But
They brought him back for this third one though. So he didn't do the second one. They brought him back.
Did
So
interesting.
I mean, the second one, it was worse. In my
I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. It
It
looks
was
okay.
in my opinion, it was worse. So maybe the third one will be.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
return to form.
if they're bringing back like the big cast, they have to think it's going to be good, or at least decent, I would think. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll be really great. Maybe it'll be fun. Who knows? I have one more recast. Sebasty, you got any?
Nope, that was it. Just the younger brother. Really hated that kid.
Yeah, he's bad. We love all children, but that kid is not good in
It's
this
not
role.
that kid.
He's old now. He's an adult at this point. So
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Screw Ty Simpkins.
He can handle it now. Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher should take Jake Johnson's role.
Interesting.
He's a smart guy.
Is it a big episode of Punk'd, or is it actually that character still?
He looks good with a headset on. I think that is what it is, actually.
What's Ashton Kutcher even doing these days, man? He needs.
Well, he's
someone.
like developing apps and shit. He's like telling you that you should be on a VPN at the airport. You don't want your stuff stolen. I don't know. He's like a smart guy. He's an actor. Get him in there, and Mila Kunis can be the other chick.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, if they had a couple, like an actual couple in there, maybe the chemistry would be better. But I still like Jake Johnson, so I don't know. But that's just me.
That girl that is the girl in the control room.
That's the girl from The Wrong Missy, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Shout out Emmy McLaughlin.
Shout out Emmy
She
McLaughlin.
made it big.
She came back. I mean, shout out.
Where are we throwing David? Let's just replace Jake Johnson with David Spade. That's gold.
The prequel to Wrong Missy is in Jurassic World.
When did Wrong Missy? Wrong Missy came out in 2020. So really, it's like it's kind of like a
Yeah, this was her peak for sure.
peak. Yeah, she's good in this though.
Yeah, she's decent. She's better than in The Wrong Missy.
Shout out Lauren Lapkus.
Yeah, I can never remember her name.
I was gonna say you gotta remember her name this time.
I was waiting for you to do it.
Oh,
but
I could
she's
not.
also in Orange is the New Black as well for 6
Oh, okay.
years.
I haven't seen that. That's got pretty good reviews, I think, though. So she's probably good at
I believe the beginning was good, and then it kind of like we
Oh.
talked about.
that. Of course.
Let's move on to our rating.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
Our last little bit on this movie.
I want to hear Sebasty first.
Yeah, maybe start out of 69. Out of 69, what do you rate this film?
Out of 69, the classic rating system. So since I only have one movie that I'm rating for this, I don't have any to base it off of. I went 54 because I was like, you know what? I didn't hate this at all. So I went 54. That's my rating.
Definitely respectable. Korbin, I'm sure yours is going to be much lower. I want to hear yours.
Why don't you go next, Kody?
Sure? Okay. I thought I was going to be the middle ground here.
Yeah,
this is-
exactly. It's like a step ladder down.
Okay. You don't want to fall off a cliff yet. This is a tough one to rate, I think. Obviously, everything we said. I think I'm going to go. With a 41 out of 69. I think it's definitely not like the low of lows, but it's somewhere in the middle for me. I would say, like I said, I mean, I think it's a decent monster movie. Just the humans and the script is not good. So 41, not bad. Mid tier for me.
You were kind of close to being right in the middle of us. I went 33 for this movie. So
Higher than I expected, honestly.
yeah, not too bad. That's just like it's on almost 2.5 stars, but not 2.5 stars. It's like just 2 stars. So
I figured you were going high 20s, like 28.
no. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's been worse movies.
I
It's better,
definitely
it's better than a 28. Okay.
tough.
All right. Now it's time for We Have a Podgorithm.
Season 3. We back.
Grabbing the card. Sebasty, you're familiar with this? What this is, correct?
I am trying to give my my 30-second overview of the movie, correct?
Exactly. He knows. He's a true fan. He's a true fan.
And
I'm gonna draw the card. We'll set a timer for 30 seconds. Kody, you want to just say you're gonna go first, no matter what the card is? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Go.
Okay. The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, Narnia classic. I'll tell you what, I did read most of the Narnia books, and those are always superior.
That's very surprising.
I think to those. Is it? Yeah, it's surprising I can read, honestly. But no, I think the movie's okay. I really like the CGI. That's the word for Aslan. I think that's very, very cool. But yeah, I mean, again, kid actors, it's tough to pull that off. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I believe you have an Andy Serkis character in there, so that's fun. But I mean, the acting's not good.
James McAvoy.
That's who it is, not Andy Serkis, maybe. Yeah, James McAvoy is the deer guy. But yeah, I mean, kid actors.
That's time.
When the kids are the main guys, it's hard to pull off. But good book.
We'll throw it over to Tilda Swinton is in there. I'll say that, and Liam Neeson plays Aslan.
Yeah, she's the White Queen or whatever.
Yeah. I'll throw it over to Sebasty. Why don't you talk to us? Line Lips in the Wardrobe.
All right.
Thoughts on its religious connotations?
It's, I will say this about it. When I first watched it, and I was pretty young. I don't remember being very old watching this. And I remember not liking it then. So my 30-second overview is not going to take long because I did not like the movie. I thought it was complete dog shit. I thought it was not good. So there's my overview of that one.
Okay, so basically you thought it was about as good as Korbin thought Jurassic World was.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I'll jump in. I read like half of the Prince Caspian one, which they did do a sequel to this movie, which was Prince Caspian. That movie sucks. It's even worse than this one. Then they did a Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is also even worse. So all the sequels just not great. James McAvoy does play the deer guy. Let's go to recommendation.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
Isn't he a centaur or something? Yeah.
No.
He's like a half goat, half person.
Yeah, maybe he's a goat actually. I back that.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Whatever it is, it's terrible. Whatever his character.
Oh, it's not good either way.
Well, he plays Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah,
I think he's a fawn.
Yeah, so he's a deer.
He's a baby.
Whatever. He's a baby. All right, Sebasty, you got any recommendations for this week?
Actually, me and my wife just finished The Sex Lives of College Girls.
Okay.
My hopes were not very high going in, I will be honest. Then I watched it. It's pretty funny. I will give it to it. It is a pretty funny show. Definitely don't let your kids watch it, but it's a good one. And then something else I just finished Peacemaker 2, and I thought that was really good. I thought John Cena, wow, I thought he really played that well. But yeah, those are my two. I thought they were really good.
Kody and I watched Peacemaker back in February or whenever, and it was good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually really liked it. What's that one guy's name? Shit, I can't remember. What's his sidekick's name?
Is it the Vigilante?
Yeah, Vigilante. I love Vigilante in that show. Not best stuff. I can't remember his name, but
Little Kung Fu guy.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's getting that. I have a couple of recs. Korbin, did you see Survivor this week? I think you did, but you were texting about it, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Do you remember how the prediction went at the end of the last episode?
Yeah, I predicted that high.
You predicted a blindside.
I did.
You did get correct, but you said it was gonna be
high. I said
high getting the boot, but they were gonna blindside Drea, and then of course turn of events, and then Tori got voted out. So technically, I was right. I said Tori.
Yeah, I mean Tori got absolutely
for the wrong reasons, but
I'll give that to you. You did predict that.
What are your thoughts on Tribal Council?
Yeah, I mean it was obviously a very problematic Tribal Council, but still like a powerful one in the end. So it had a good ending, I thought. But Jonathan sort of put his foot in his mouth a little bit. That guy got a lot of hate on social media, probably rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. I don't really like the episodes where they split the merge tribe in half and they have to go that way. I mean, that's dumb. But I mean, overall, 2 idols got played. It was a cool moment at Tribal with Marianne and Drea, but I thought it was an okay episode. Yeah.
I think it was a good conversation. I think it was an important one to be had. I think it's tough because they literally were going in there and they were going to blindside Drea and like take her out of the game. Like she was 100% right. Jonathan was a character that I really enjoyed prior to this episode. And then he just kind of, even before Tribal Council, the way he was pissing or at least the way they edited it, it made it seem like he was pissing everybody off on the beach anyways. Like he was trying to like make big moves and orchestrate everything, and like all the women just like did not like the way he was coming at it, because it was like he was coming in and like, oh, I gotta take leadership, and it was just coming across the wrong way. And then he goes into tribal council and is like freaking out. He's like, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Like, it's like, dude, chill out. Like, that's such like no
are
one
you
was saying
calling
that.
me racist? Like, no, nobody said that. But
Nobody said that. You guys were literally gonna. I mean, you only feel that way because you were gonna vote her ass out. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I think one of
Drea
those
is a good
two-
player. I mean,
she's got every advantage in the world.
got every advantage in the world.
I think one of those two is going to go this week. I think if Jonathan doesn't win immunity, he's gone. I think Drea's on the hot seat as well. But it should be a decent episode with everybody back together. And
he was just lucky he had immunity, because they probably would have just turned on him if he.
I would think so, but he might win out. So who knows? But
Yeah,
my other
awesome.
Rex, yeah, Game of Thrones. I did watch the last couple episodes. Oh man, I mean, like we said, a lot of this episode. It's tough. It's not easy on the show, but I really don't think they gave any effort at all, which just really sucks from a writing standpoint, because it's literally just like 6 great seasons of television kind of wasted. I mean, Daenerys, I mean, she's gone to see ya. And then they're like, oh, who should be king? Oh, Bran, because he's an all-seer. That makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry, but yeah, good show. I'm definitely glad that I checked out Game of Thrones, and it's definitely something I would recommend to pretty much anybody. But yeah, the last 2 episodes, you can actually probably just skip those. People have said that to me, and I was like, no way, dude, I'm not going to skip the last 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, but I mean, you might as just well, because it's not worth it. But yeah.
With the
That's
hour
my
of TV you watched, like you can't skip the last 2. Like
Yeah, exactly.
that's a lot of hours of television.
But it's that bad where I might actually, if I could go back, I might actually. Yeah. A lot of hours put into that show for that fucking finale. So definitely tough. But yeah, go check out Game of Thrones. First 5 seasons, immaculate stuff. That's all I got.
Well, I'm happy to say I'm finally back on the movie watching grind a little bit since our last episode. I went and watched 6 movies, so that's good. And started another one. And we've recorded this closer than we normally do. So first of all, go check out my short film, Contactless. It's on YouTube, it's on my Instagram page. You go watch it. It's not the greatest thing ever made. If we did an episode about it, we could find plenty of stupid parts. And the acting's great. Shout out to the actors.
Yes.
Except for myself.
I was gonna say you were pretty good. So
my acting is suspect. Austin's is decent. Jacob plays a great dead body. Shout out to Jack and Chris, my 2 leads. It was just really fun to make. So if you want to go check that out, go check it out. You can also log it on Letterboxd. And see
definitely go check that out. Oh, blow that up on Letterboxd.
Yeah. Also checked out The Way Back for the first time. That's a favorite of a lot of people I know.
That's on my list. Yeah,
Mina loves it. Jackson loves it. I did not love it.
Oh man, Korbin, every time somebody tells him a movie is good, he goes into the movie and just hating it already.
No. I think the characters kind of all suck. Like, what's his name? The guy who's Steve Carell's in it and he's fun, but he plays like this shitty stepdad. Tony Collette's not very likable. Sam Rockwell, he's like the mentor and like the guy you're supposed to he's just like a dickhead, and he's not really someone to look up to. But it was written by the dean from Community, Jim Rash. He's also in the movie, and I like him well enough. What else? I got a couple more things. I rewatched We're the Millers, which I actually think is kind of like the end of an era of like what studio comedies were, and it was like on the cusp of like the digital age and like being a little bit slightly more woke in the sense of comedy before the studio comedies died out, but then still also like playing with that edge. And I don't know, I think it's a pretty interesting relic of a time period, and it's probably one of the better versions of that kind of movie. So I enjoyed that. Also watched Knocked Up, which is like a different kind of that studio comedy, a little bit earlier, 6 Years, Judd Apatow, doing his thing. I thought it was okay. 28 Days Later, which is interesting because it's Alex Garland, who obviously directed Ex Machinas. He wrote it, and then also Danny Boyle, who directed like Train Spotting. doing this like really gritty shot on digital, super low quality zombie movie, which is really, I don't know. It's kind of flips in genre a little bit, and it takes a weird turn at the end. It kind of reminds me of Requiem in a little bit. And that's kind of a negative for it for me, probably. And then finally, I saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent in theaters.
Really?
The Nick Cage movie. So
yeah, what do you think about that?
yeah, it was pretty fun. Some of it like was a little boring at points, or it didn't quite make sense, or the jokes weren't quite hitting. But overall, I thought it was fun. Nick Cage is doing Nick Cage things. Tiffany Haddish is an interesting part of the movie. I just don't really understand why you need that character. Pedro Pascal is amazing though, like absolutely chewing up the scenes.
You're a big Pedro guy.
Pedro's great. He's fun. So
shout out to him in Game of Thrones again, getting his head popped like a
yeah. And there's, you know what, and that happens in 28 Days Later. I'm pretty sure somebody's head gets popped like a crepe like that. So there you go.
Yeah, poor guy. And what's his name? Prince Oberon?
Yes. Prince
Oberon. See ya.
He was too cocky. The
mountain. Yeah. Don't fight the mountain, probably. But.
We brought it all back full circle. Any final recommendations or thoughts, things to live by, guys?
I'm not out here to give life advice, but no, I want to shout out my boy Sebasty coming on the pod. Obviously, an avid listener, and just want to say appreciate it, man. I think it was a good episode.
No problem. I'm super excited to be here. I was like jacked up when you were like, yeah, let's do the podcast. I was like, let's go. But my one thing I want to say to the listeners is check out the episode with Emmy McLaughlin. Like that episode had me crying laughing. I thought it was so fun.
Lauren Lapkus.
Yeah.
The Jurassic World connection again. It all works out. It's a good recommendation.
Yeah, that episode, I think that was a really good one by you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Emmy's great too. We love having her on.
Yeah, we all know Emmy. So
Emmy's the best. I just want to say thank you as well for coming on. Kody's, mentioned how big of a fan you are and how you're always watching. You wanted to come on. So glad. Thank you for the support. Hope everybody enjoyed listening. Go see Multiverse of Madness this week if you're a Marvel fan. That comes out this weekend. Kody and I will be sure to at least discuss in brief a bit about the movie, and then maybe do an episode kind of themed around it coming up soon. So stick around for that. Episode 2 of May Mania. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Stick around for May Mania. It's going to be a good one.
Peace.
Stay gapping.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.